Okay. Okay, so it's number 32 from Something You Forgot Along the Way. It's page 87. The lesson of the red camellia. One night, a man in the prime of life got up to go to the bathroom. On the way, he spat into the garden. To his horror, his bottom was bright red, a telltale sign of tuberculosis. His legs turned to jelly, and he sank to the floor. When the man didn't come back to bed, his wife grew concerned and went looking for him. She laid a hand on his forehead and found he had a raging fever. The household was soon in an uproar, and they sent for a doctor. Meanwhile, the man told his wife what had happened, and she went out to the garden to see for herself. She discovered that he'd spat onto the fallen petal of a scarlet camellia flower. When she told him this, his fever magically disappeared, and the next morning he set off for work as usual. If he hadn't found out the truth, he could have made himself truly sick. There is no need to live in fear of what may come. Change is only natural. The earth itself has day and night. The moon waxes and wanes in the sky. The ocean has its high tide and low. In our lives, too, we experience both fat and lean. When you are at a low point, just wait, for this too shall pass. When you are at rock bottom, you are undergoing a test. Think of it as Buddha's way of training you so that in time he can give you something better than you have ever known. A hothouse flower does not smell so sweet as one exposed to wind and cold. Rain and sunshine are equally good. Anyone who can't appreciate this is of little substance. It is essential to open the eyes of the soul. Okay, very good. This is one of the most popular stories in the book because it's so encouraging, helping us open the eyes of our soul and to see how everything in the universe is actually supporting us to find that happiness that never abandons us. So even when we are going through suffering or we hit the rock bottom, there is something there that is shifting our perspective. Without the suffering, we would not have changed. We would have just remained complacent in our little comfort zone. We wouldn't have wanted to change. So we can have even gratitude for difficult times. And for me personally, yeah, when I was younger, I thought I didn't have enough substance in me. I was immature and a little bit sheltered by my parents. So I didn't know what life is in its entirety. I wanted to know, but yeah, opportunities were scarce, perhaps. So instead of feeling like a victim or feeling sorry for myself, so I began looking around and searching or asking people questions. And people love it when you talk with them or ask them a question. You know, you're recognizing their existence. So in this way, we can gain wisdom. And yeah, another good point here is that um, if we don't suffer in life or we are avoiding the suffering, because the first noble truth is life is suffering. So how could it be that some people are not suffering? They appear not to be suffering. Maybe they avoid the suffering, or maybe they have done so much soul searching, they have transcended it. So, yeah, but if we avoid the suffering, here it's compared to the wind and the cold, we become like a hothouse flower. You know, the flowers you buy these days, they're not so fragrant. They don't have that beautiful scent, the sweet scent of a flower I used to smell when I was a kid. because they're grown in a hot house. It's industrialized. So the temperature is controlled, the amount of water they get is controlled, there's no wind. But if you are hiking or spending time in nature and you find a wildflower and you smell it, it's like, wow, look at this, how authentic it is, how nice of a smell. And we can see how beautiful life is with that same authenticity in our own lives or relationships we create with people. Yeah, also this made me think of tomatoes. These days when you buy tomatoes, they don't taste like tomatoes if they're grown in the hothouse. And once in a while, if we have a chance to have some organic tomatoes, we're like, wow, this is how tomatoes used to taste when I was little. So the suffering and the hardships is actually helping us see something we couldn't see before, that, yeah, change is only natural. And so we don't live in fear anymore. And we become, little by little, we become invincible, not to do something foolish, but in returning our gratitude to Amida Buddha and our teachers, and help more and more people to see this beauty as well. Yeah, we don't keep it to ourselves. So good job, everyone, for being here. 30 minutes practicing together. Today is Thursday. We have advanced group session in Japanese and English by Morita Sensei at 6 p.m. And I think that's about it. Yeah, have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.